This is a quick overview of the competency mapping and rating toolset in the platform. So it has two parts to it. The first part is when we create the competency framework of an organization. So let's say we start from the point where the organization does not have a competency framework. The tool starts from there. So it starts with a basic questionnaire that has some basic questions about the company, industry, the nature of the product, the profile of the professionals in the company, and that information is fed to AI, which is pre-trained, and the AI then delivers an org chart, a recommended org chart depending upon the company's strength that AI creates, and also the roles in that org chart. So this can be calibrated by the company to match their current situation, and basis that you are able to create a role inventory also. So the once the org chart gets created, you also create a role inventory for the organization. AI also creates a list of skills that will be relevant for this particular organization given the information. These skills are one recommended by AI. Second, if we want to think of a skill which AI is not recommending, we can also create a skill using the skill card, which is again can be created with the help of AI. You start with a very basic prompt like name of the skill, and AI will help you choose the right description for it, and also the different levels of proficiency that may be required in this skill. All this are editable. Now, once all these skills are iteratively selected, they make up the organization skill inventory. So, this is how it looks like. You keep a track of how many skills are there in the organization, and you can further categorize them according to whether they are functional, technical, leadership, behavioral, things like that. Now, at this stage, you have created a role inventory for the organization and also a skill inventory. The next step is to do role skill assignment or the success profile or for every role in the organization. The success profile basically outlines what is the role name, what is the job description, what are some KPIs, and we can then iteratively select what will be the skills that will be required in this role, and at what proficiency level will these skills be required for somebody to become successful in that profile. So once we achieve the role skill assignment, then we have till this point created our entire competency framework for the entire organization. With the help of AI, we can really fasten up the competency framework creation. The second part of the tool is the skill rating part. So once the benchmark for every role is created, then we can enter into the rating phase. Now, here in the rating phase, because it is a behavior, so we invite self, L1 manager, skip or L2 manager to participate in the skill rating for an individual. This is configurable, so we can just accept a self rating, we can just accept the L1 rating or L2 rating, or a combination of a weighted average of all the three. So when all three of these stakeholders do assessment on that particular individual in this very transparent way of rating, if I can transparently see how my manager is rating, this is also configurable. We can stop to show or choose not to display others rating to me. But in case we do, we create a transparent ecosystem where I can see how my manager is rating me, and if I have some issues with that or I want to contest that rating, I can come to the comments area and initiate a specific discussion around that rating, giving evidence of why the self thinks he's not at proficiency level 2 but at proficiency level 4. So it is a transparent ecosystem which has space to agree to disagree as well as make submissions and make considerations. Once this skill rating is completed and skill score is calculated, these are depicted by the purple flag. The green flag is the benchmark that we have created in the earlier step. Once the rating is completed, we get to this point where we are able to get the skill gap for that particular individual. So the purple rating is what the currently my skill score is, and the green flag is what is the benchmark for that skill in that role. So once the skill gap is created, this is the starting point of talent development for that individual. Now, in the system, the first thing that will happen is that all the content that has been created in the system or curated from various sources, this tool set is also part of the system. So, whether you're creating a lesson, quiz, survey, or any other modality, or you're creating with AI, or you're uploading your own documents, these documents have to be tagged with the skill level, with the skill name and the level of that skill that this content can help fulfill. And this information of tags goes to our skill card where we attach that particular skill to that program, and this information via a set of rules can then be automatically assigned to that individual as their learning journey. We can assign learning journeys that are pre-created and specifically for functional trainings, or we can also use the curated version where from different MOOCs or from the internet we can curate a set of content which is relevant to that skill. So by this time, we have identified our skills, and according to the skill gaps personalized to everyone, we have assigned training programs that we have decided we are going to deploy. Now, with the skill gap information at hand, the system is able to create more benefits for the user. The first is a sense of career path we can create for every individual. So the first thing that the system will be able to identify is the potential role matches for that individual. So now the system knows the benchmark of all the roles, system knows your current role assessment, and it will now be able to detect that where is it that on which roles is your current skill set has the least gap. So system can give recommendation on what are the potential role matches. If that individual chooses to go for an aspirational role, they have a place to do that where they can select any role on the org chart, and accordingly system will create what is your current skill gap with regards to that role. This career pathing also leads to creating learning journeys and modules which are assigned to them basis the pathing that one has chosen. Beyond the users, the skill rating toolset also allows for the admin and the strategic HR leader to get some org skill health intelligence. So at this stage, because I have all these skills assessed in my organization, I can very well see which are the most critical skills, which of these skills are healthy skills, which of these are unhealthy skills, which of these skills are, or how many of my skills are emerging skills, how many of them are legacy skills. So it gives us a very good information or intelligence on what is the status of skills in the organization. If we are aspiring to be a skill based organization, then this is the intelligence that you need to plan for how your talent is going to develop, how your talent acquisition strategy will look like, how your talent development strategy will look like, and how also your talent development programs will look like. Because this also acts as TNA or feeds into the TNA, because you have very clear data about which skills need the most attention. Now, beyond this intelligence at the organization level, we can filter or slice and dice this data across all levels. So, if we want to identify individuals or teams where a certain skill is lacking or any other use case like that, then we can very simply do some slicing and dicing. And at a skill level and at different levels of hierarchy, I can identify professionals who need help in which area. So, this is the overall tool set that we have in the system, which has three end to end, which takes care of the competency and skills end to end, right from creation to rating to doing training related to that rating, and this is to be a cyclic process. So after a designated frequency once in a quarter, automatedly everyone goes through a skill rating, and their learning plans and their learning journeys are auto adjusted depending upon how much of trending or how much of improvement that particular skill has made. And this cyclic nature of the skill rating program also allows for us to trend or see the trend of skills across the organization and across its different silos.